Good morning. I'm Gmachl, and I'm the Interim Director of the Andlinger Center for Energy and the Environment. And it's my true pleasure to welcome you to the Center's 2022 annual meeting, entitled The Changing Geopolitics of Climate Change and the Energy Transition. Before we begin, I'd like to note a few housekeeping issues. First, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. The restrooms can be found by exiting the back of the auditorium, turning sharp right, walking down the hallway, and you'll see the restrooms. Lunch will be held in the Frick Chemistry Lab with a poster session immediately after. At the break, just before lunch, please take all your belongings and meet outside in the courtyard, and our staff will escort you on the short walk to Frick. After sitting inside for a couple hours, it'll be a wonderful walk down to Frick. At the end of the day, we will host a reception in the auditorium lobby. I encourage you to attend and hope you will join us for a brief award ceremony for the poster presenters, light refreshments, and an opportunity to speak with colleagues. Finally, please note that the annual meeting sessions are being recorded and will be shared on our webpage. As many here know, the Andlinger Center's mission is to translate fundamental research into practical solutions for a sustainable energy future. Pursuit of this mission rests on three pillars: fostering research, engaging students, and cultivating external partnerships. Through our research programs, the Center seeks to advance the frontiers of knowledge at the nexus of energy and environmental issues. And our faculty tackle an incredible array of challenges around technologies, materials, processes, and policy frameworks to meet global needs for energy security while mitigating climate change and other environmental issues. This is done in collaboration with our wonderful students, many of whose research projects are featured in today's poster session. From undergraduate students to grad students and postdoctoral fellows, they're all passionate about making positive change, as you can see from their bios in the poster booklet. We're very proud of them, and we know that they will apply the lessons learned in the Center to be next generation's leaders in the quest for a sustainable, healthy planet. The third pillar, supporting our mission, is external partnerships to catalyze knowledge transfer and to accelerate the deployment of solutions. An important means of achieving this is a robust and distinctive corporate partnerships program administered by the Center and called the Princeton Affiliates Partnership, or simply Affiliates. Affiliates is notable for its diverse sector coverage and the degree to which dialogue and collaboration occurs between members. The sector diversity provides our community a broad perspective of energy and environmental issues and the varied ways in which its talents can be applied. Support from affiliates sustains many avenues of collaborative research, and our members' involvement in research, roundtables, conferences, and other initiatives is critical in promoting knowledge and technology transfer to address energy and environmental concerns. Many of our members are here today, and I would like to thank them all for coming and spending your time and your expertise and your good company. And in particular, thanks to our charter members for their support and engagement. This year's meeting deals with the geopolitical dynamics of climate change and the energy transition. I can't think of a more appropriate topic for this moment. The effects of climate change are tangible worldwide, and we are reminded on a daily basis of the social and infrastructure pressures we will increasingly face due to pervasive drought, wildfires, superstorms, extreme heat, sea level rise, to only name a few. The problem requires nothing less than global cooperation. Yet geopolitical forces and tensions constrain the pace and scale at which we can hope to act. The global energy crisis, precipitated by the war in Ukraine, has invigorated calls for accelerating the transition to renewable energy. Yet, it has also led many countries to increase the use of readily available fossil energy sources to spur economic recovery from the pandemic, meet development needs, and in some cases just provide for national energy security. These and other factors, such as natural resource limitations, supply chain bottlenecks, and financing challenges in developing nations, raise serious questions about our collective ability to meet the substantial emissions reduction pledges made in Paris and reaffirmed in the Glasgow Pact. Against this backdrop, the Biden administration has enacted the largest ever national effort to address climate change via research and investment in clean energy, raising hopes that the US will provide global leadership on building sustainable modern economies. And so, we find ourselves, many nations with shared aspirations, but often conflicting political needs, facing a generational challenge of existential proportions and asking what lies in the future. Today's meeting brings together a collection of amazing people, you, who are well positioned to help answer this question. So I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to all of you for sharing your experience, your expertise, and insights. Today's agenda promises to be full of enlightening discourse, and I hope you will find it enriching and enjoyable. I would like especially to thank Chris Gregg, the Theodora D., class of 78, and William H. Walton III, class of 74, senior research scientist at the Andlinger Center, for his energetic work in organizing this meeting. And I'm also thanking the staff members of the Andlinger Center who have supported him in this effort and support all of us today. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Andrea Goldsmith, Dean of Engineering and Applied Sciences, and the Arthur Legrand Doty Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Dean Goldsmith is a luminary in the area of communications technology, a member or fellow of several distinguished societies, and the recipient of many prestigious awards and honors, including, most recently, the Marconi Prize for exceptional contributions to the field of information and communication technology for the benefit of mankind. As Dean of SEAS, she's leading a visionary expansion of our facilities and faculty that will help Princeton maintain its position as a world leader in engineering, education, and innovation. Please join me in welcoming Dean Goldsmith.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today to give these opening remarks for this incredible event, showcasing the Andlinger Center and the impact it can have on the country and on the world at this critical juncture of the energy transition and energy crisis. So I'm Andrea Goldsmith. I'm starting my third year as the SEAS Engineering Dean, and I wanted to spend just a few minutes telling people about the School of Engineering, and then I'll get to talking a little bit more about the Andlinger Center and today's meeting. So The School of Engineering today has grown already by about 15 faculty in the last year. We're growing dramatically, planning to hire about 40 to 50 faculty over the next 5 years. So it's a tremendously exciting time of growth for the school, and that also means a great time of growth for the Andlinger Center. We have 167 postdocs, 720 graduate students, and our undergrads in the School of Engineering make up about 33% of Princeton undergrads. So the School of Engineering has a huge footprint within Princeton. And what's special about the School of Engineering here is that we can really leverage being part of a broader liberal arts university with incredible strengths in policy, in science, in the humanities, and in the arts. And that's one of the things that really attracted me to come here, was to create an engineering school, an outstanding engineering school within a great liberal arts university that can really leverage everything that's special about Princeton. Just to tell you a little bit about my vision for SEAS, and I talked about this last year for those of you that were here, but we're actually making incredible progress. The vision I have for the School of Engineering is to really solve the most challenging problems facing humanity. And all of these problems, including the energy crisis, require engineering and technology. So engineering and technology is really at the root of research and impact that we can have on challenges facing the world. And so the vision that we have in terms of how we're going to increase the impact of the school is through our research, creating new technologies and new knowledge, basically advancing the state of the art in fundamental engineering and technology, inspiring not only our students, but the broader community through our education and mentoring. We're really creating the next generation of leaders in key areas of technology, including energy technology. And we want to do that within a diverse and inclusive environment. One of the things that I've learned as a woman engineer is that in every endeavor, whether it's been within a university or within a company or within a startup, I've started 2 companies, having diverse people around the table leads to better outcomes, leads to better ideas, broader ideas, more diverse perspectives, and better outcomes. The field of engineering is not very diverse, and it's something that we here at Princeton can be a role model for, and we are pursuing that, which I'll talk about briefly, not only for the profession, but for other universities as well. And my goal is to really transform Princeton, New Jersey, and the entire region through our work, through our research, through our education, through our technologies that we will develop and transfer into industry. So it's an incredibly exciting time for the School of Engineering. I believe we're at an inflection point where we're really poised to magnify our impact and increase it exponentially. So I created a SEAS strategic plan when I first came in. So in January of 2021 is when we unveiled it, where our goals were to strategically grow our faculty and graduate student population, launch new research initiatives that would be transformative, forge stronger ties across the School of Engineering and across Princeton, again, to leverage being part of this great liberal arts university, to foster more along the lines of design, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I came from Stanford. I was there for 21 years. People say there's something in the water at Stanford that creates innovators and entrepreneurs. That's not true. You just need to create an ecosystem and create a culture where the notion of taking the deep research that we do in our labs and in our offices and with our graduate students, taking that research and transferring it into technologies. That might be a startup company, it might be through ties with industry, but that is how you create an ecosystem where we maximize our impact. I believe we can do that at Princeton. We've already made progress on doing so, and I'll talk about that briefly. But it's critical for Princeton to not only have this culture of design, innovation, entrepreneurship, but really have very strong ties with industry. And that's why meetings like this, to me, are so important, because it forges these ties or strengthens them. And Princeton alone cannot impact the energy crisis without the help of partnering with companies, with government agencies, and with other universities. So I already talked about why it's important to enhance diversity and inclusion and to create a new neighborhood so that we have a place where we not only have state-of-the-art facilities for all of our engineering faculty and students, but also where there's a space for people to collaborate, to bump into each other, where the magic of collaboration happens through the neighborhood that we've created. So just briefly to talk about our progress, we've hired 14 new faculty in the last 12 months, and we have 17 searches per year for the next 5 years, including some in Andlinger. And I believe this expansion, it's the fastest and largest expansion of the School of Engineering, I believe, in the history of the School of Engineering, gives us a tremendous opportunity to increase our impact. I'm going to talk in a moment about our research initiatives. We have launched a design program at Princeton, which we call Design for Humanity. I don't have time to talk about it. I could spend the rest of the day talking about it, but it's really an opportunity for faculty and graduate students and undergraduates to get involved in the design process of solving a hard problem. Some of that may lead to entrepreneurship. Some of that may lead to entrepreneurship within nonprofits, or it may just be they design a very cool widget or technology or solution to a broad problem. And we've made significant progress in increasing diversity and inclusion. The first year I was here, we hired 13 new faculty, 54% were women, and 23% were URMs. And that was not compromising excellence. You cannot compromise excellence. You don't need to. You just need to make sure that you're giving everybody that's applying for your faculty positions and your graduate student positions a fair shot at being able to rise to the top of the pool. So we have already now, we're exceeding the national averages for women faculty. We are underperforming on URM. So if you know some great URM graduate students or postdocs looking for faculty jobs, please have them apply to Princeton in our searches this year. And you may have noticed there's a lot of construction going on. We are building the new neighborhood, which is very exciting. We have research initiatives. We're poised to launch a bioengineering institute this year. We've grown significantly in robotics. We've also launched a quantum engineering initiative within SEAS. We have an initiative on machine intelligence for engineering, so using machine learning and AI for engineering design problems, which is very exciting. And I think we're the only school in the country that's particularly focused on using AI and ML for engineering, not just for computer science or image recognition or game playing or things like that. We have a new initiative on decentralization of power through blockchain technology, an initiative on networking, wireless, wireline, and cloud, smart cities and regions, which intersects a lot with energy, and then engineering and the arts. And of course, we have our existing centers, which brings me to Andlinger. So Andlinger has been in place about 20 years now, I believe. It was founded about 20 years ago. And it was one of the things that brought me to Princeton, both because it's a multidisciplinary research and education center, and because of its focus on securing our energy and environmental future. This is the most important problem that everyone can work on, particularly engineers, because it's an existential threat to the planet. So having a center within engineering that's focused on energy and the environment poises Princeton to really have a huge impact in this area. So we have a number of areas of foci right now, which are listed here. I won't go into all of them, but one of the things that's unique about the Andlinger Center, I believe, among energy centers within universities, is the goal of translating the knowledge that we create into practical solutions. We're not just about writing papers or going to academic conferences. We really want to see the work that we do have a huge impact on industry, on climate change, on energy solutions. And that makes us unique, or as an academic center that's really focused on practical impact and practical translation of the research that we do. It's a very exciting time for Andlinger. We have a search for a new director, and that person should be named very soon. And so we will be in a position to increase and enhance the vision of the Andlinger Center through this new director and through the growth of engineering, in particular in the Andlinger Center. So we have several faculty searches going on this year. So again, if you know really promising people that we should be bringing in to the Andlinger Center, please encourage them to apply to the search. We've had a lot of visibility of our projects, and again, every year, this is my third year as dean, every year we see more dramatically the impact of climate change, of global warming. And so there is no more important problem for us as academics, as engineers to solve than addressing climate change. The energy transition is urgently needed. We cannot wait one more day. And that's why meetings of this type that are really, in some sense, a call to action are so important. So I already said there's urgency. We need everybody involved in the energy transition. Industry can't do it alone. Academia can't do it alone. Governments and nonprofits cannot do it alone. We need to partner. We need science, innovation, and technology. That is necessary, but it's not sufficient. We need to change hearts and minds. We need to change business as usual. We need to change the way we do finance. We need to think about conflicts differently. And we need to make change in the short, medium, and long term, which brings me to today's meeting. The topic of the changing geopolitics of climate change and the energy transition is so poignant today when we look at the war in the Ukraine and the impact that's having. When we think about who are our partners, our traditional partners for security are not necessarily our partners in energy. You look at the long-standing partnership we've had with Saudi Arabia and how that's being strained right now. So climate change and the energy transition is global, and that's why the focus on that topic for today's meeting is so exciting. So we have wonderful thought leaders that are giving us keynotes. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and experience with us through your keynotes. We have 3 incredible panels talking about climate change and conflict, and again, it's so poignant today with the war and tensions around the world, thinking about seaborne traded energy commodities, which have such a big impact on climate change. And then technology and finance. We don't really think of that necessarily as related to climate change, but as I mentioned, we just launched a center on decentralization of power through blockchain technology. If you think about one of the biggest challenges of blockchain technology, it's energy consumption. And if it is going to end up being a global financial platform, how is that going to impact energy? So I think talking about technology and finance through the lens of climate change is a wonderful topic. So this is a very exciting meeting. I hope you all enjoy it immensely, and thank you so much for attending and for your attention.